photograph from Planet Labs was posted on social media by the War Zone. The USAF operates a total of 20 B-2 bombers, meaning 4 constitute 1/5 of the USAF's total B-2 fleet now stationed in Australia, which is unprecedented. The 4 B-2s in issue belong to the 509th Bomb Wing at Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri, to assist a Pacific Air Force's Bomber Task Force. The first 2 of them had landed at Amberley on July 10, while the second batch of B-2s arrived on July 12. B-2s have been sent to Australia before, but this is the first deployment of the bombers as part of the Bomber Task Force, BTF. According to Janes, the deployment will remain through the end of August. B-2 bombers train with Australian Air Force. This BTF deployment is part of the Enhanced Air Cooperation Initiative under the Force Posture Agreement between the U.S. and Australia, which includes rotational deployment of U.S. aircraft of various kinds in Australia for joint training and exercises with the RAF. A spokeswoman from the Australian Department of Defence informed Janes that the B-2s, throughout July and August, will be participating in several Australian Defence Force (ADF) exercises like as Coolandong and Exercise Arnhem Thunder. The Coolandong 2022 recently completed at the end of July, with the soldiers from the Australian 13th Brigade confronting the imaginary adversary represented by the U.S. B-2 bombers also participated in the drill, as shown in the photographs showing numerous B-2 aircraft flying with Australian F-35s over Curtin Air Base. Training and operating with our Australian colleagues has been an incredible blast, stated Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Coastguard, commander of 393rd Expeditionary Bomb Squadron, in a USAF statement issued on July 12. Since our advance team reached the ground over a week ago, U.S. airmen have merged with their Australian counterparts in every specialty: fuels, logistics, maintenance, aviators, you name it. Coastguard further said that the B-2s will also conduct engines running refueling with Australian equipment and air refueling with the Australian KC-30s, while noting, "It's important for us to demonstrate that we can accomplish that mission from diverse locations in the largest combatant command in the world, and that's exactly what we're doing here." He said that the only way to learn and develop is to really deploy and practice, as we simply cannot function successfully by ourselves in this environment, and learning to integrate with our partners effectively is very important to success. We're practicing against that tyranny of distance with our Australian counterparts on this deployment, and that experience is extremely invaluable, Coastguard remarked. According to Coastguard, this deployment of the B-2 to Australia indicates and strengthens the preparedness and lethality of the U.S. long-range penetrating strike force. Recent months have witnessed the growing deployment of USAF B-2s in Australia. For example, in March, a USAF B-2 Spirit completed a mission in the Indo-Pacific with 5 different fighter aircraft, which comprised 2 F-35s, 2 EA-18 Growlers, and 2 F/A-18F Super Hornets from the RAF, 2 F-16Cs, and a KC-135 tanker from the USAF, as per a Eurasian Times story. Nuclear-capable B-2 bombers, a strong message to China. The increased presence of the USAF's nuclear-capable B-2s in the Indo-Pacific sends a powerful message to China, given B-2 bombers are one of the 3 legs of the U.S. nuclear triad. The message cannot come at a better time than now, when the tensions in the Indo-Pacific are at an all-time high due to Chinese military drills in waters surrounding Taiwan in response to U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's arrival on the island by aircraft on August 2, despite several warnings from China. The People's Liberation Army Navy has conducted a huge naval drill in 5 locations near Taiwan that overlap with the island nation's territorial seas. The exercise involves live shooting drills that have prompted the commercial ships and aviation traffic to reroute to avoid the military training. Also, numerous airlines have allegedly suspended flights to or from Taiwan through the end of August for undisclosed reasons, according to the South China Morning Post. SCMP. Therefore, the PLA Navy's military maneuvers have raised worries of shipping delays not just in Taiwan, but also in Japan and South Korea, potentially contributing to a rise in transport costs. According to Ambrose Lin, a former Hong Kong Logistics Development Council member, logistics expenditures might grow by 10%. He indicated that critically required items will be transferred from ships to planes for quicker delivery to Taiwan. The more immediate consequences of China's retaliation to the Pelosi visit relate to regional trade and shipping patterns, given that China's planned live-fire exercises are occurring in an incredibly busy waterway. Nick Merrow, lead analyst with the Economist Intelligence Unit's Forecasting and Advisory Service, said in a research note cited by the SCMP, "The shutting down of key transport channels, even temporarily, has ramifications not only for Taiwan, but also trade flows related to Japan and South Korea," Merrow warned. These fears are not unwarranted, as 5 ballistic missiles fired by China as part of the ongoing live-fire drills landed in Japan's exclusive economic zone, EEZ, for the first time on August 4, according to Japan's defense minister, Nobuo Kishi, who said that Japan had protested with China through diplomatic channels.